Hailing from the evergreen forest of Eternia comes the mythical figure of folklore that the populace knows as Moss Man. A creature of living moss, Moss Man is one of the heroic warriors that was part of the fourth wave of vintage figures in 1985. Unique in that he was a flocked figure and had a pine sent to him, he was meant to be the heroic opposite of the evil warrior of the same wave, Stinkor. At San Diego Comic-Con in 2019, an exclusive figure of him was released for the Mega Construx Masters of the Universe collection, packed in with the SDCC exclusive Battle Bones. Hi everyone, I'm Mac, and this is Moss Man.
By the power of Grayskull!
Most of you who have watched my previous videos on the Mega Construx Masters of the Universe line knows that I have always preferred the original incarnations of the Masters characters from the mini-comics that came packed in with the figures over their Filmation incarnation. Moss Man, however, is a bit of a mixed bag. His appearances in the mini-comics were very limited, with his first being in a comic titled The Stench of Evil. Here we meet Moss Man for the first time when he summons the sorceress to speak to the animals for him. When he first appears, not only is he able to use the surrounding foliage to camouflage himself, it seems he is able to actually meld into the foliage itself. In this issue, we see him going toe-to-toe with the evil warrior that was released opposite him, Stinkor. This is the only time in any media, as far as I know, that Moss Man and Stinkor have come face-to-face. In addition to being able to meld with the plants and trees of Eternia, we also see that Moss Man is able to surround himself with a bubble of pure oxygen, and he has increased strength, as he is able to throw Stinkor one-handed with ease. In his first appearance, we see none of the powers Moss Man would later be associated with, such as his signature ability to speak with or control plants. His next appearance is in Leech, the Master of Power Suction Unleashed. He doesn't show off any of his powers in this issue, and despite having lines, he is just a glorified background character. Next, he has a cameo in Mantenna and the Menace of the Evil Horde, and then a two-panel appearance with no lines in the Menace of Multibot. And this is the extent of his mini-comic presence. His Filmation appearances aren't much better. His figure came out just as the Masters of the Universe cartoon was coming to an end, so he was only in 2 episodes. Here, there, Skeletor everywhere, and the Ancient Mirror of Avathar. In the first episode, we see his ability to spy by blending in with the plants, much as he did in his first mini-comic appearance, but he's only in the first 3 minutes of that episode. In the later episode, he plays a much more prominent role and displays a wider variety of powers, including his ability to unravel himself completely into vines, to slip through a crack in the wall, and he also displays his trademark ability to talk to plants. But then, after this episode, we never see him again. Where we get most character development for Moss Man is from the 2002 relaunch of Hiam and the Masters of the Universe. In this series, a series I have pretty much ignored up until this point, Moss Man is elevated to the level of a nature god, putting him on par with characters such as the Goddess and both Zodiacs. His strength is great in the 2002 series, greater than possibly He-Man's. His first appearance is in the episode Orko's Garden, and he is used sparingly in the series because of how high his power level is, only making appearances when the situation is dire for the heroic warriors. The 2002 series also gave Moss Man a proper name, Krianot Nonorosh, a name I am no doubt butchering, so I'm just going to put it up on the screen for you to read. The 2002 series also established that Moss Man is apparently immortal. Like the vintage 5-inch figure, the Mega Construx incarnation of Moss Man is basically a recoloring of the Beastman figure. His body is colored entirely green with a brown loincloth and yellow gold belt and bracelets. There's admittedly not much to this figure, with the only splattering of paint being in the eyes and the mouth. What is the most appealing aspect of this figure is that he is actually a flocked character. Like his vintage counterpart, the SDCC release of Moss Man has short fur covering his entire body, even his head. For accessories, well, it's hard to pin down which accessories for our Moss Mans, since the SDCC Battle Bones comes with a small arsenal of weapons, but we'll take a look at that later when we look at Battle Bones himself. One thing that is singularly unique to this Moss Man is this. The vintage 5-inch figure had a pine sent to him. Mega Construx couldn't give this minifigure of Moss Man the same scent, so in lieu of that, they gave him an exclusive pine-scented air freshener. It's not quite the same thing, but it's a cool pack-in that Mega Construx didn't have to include. If you missed the SDCC BattleBones exclusive and you still want to get Moss Man, then don't worry. A reissue of the figure was just released in the Mega Construx Masters of the Universe figure line at the end of last year and can currently be found on shelves at Walmart as of the making of this video. The biggest differences between the store shelf variant and the SDCC exclusive is that the store variant is not flocked, nor does it come with a pine-scented air freshener. What he does come with for accessories is a brown spiked mace, as well as a display stand with his name printed across the front. You'll notice this is the new style of display stands for the Masters of the Universe line. This display stand is something that the SDCC exclusive variant doesn't come with. Like all Masters of the Universe figures by Mega Construx that come with building sets, the flocked Moss Man only comes with a sand green piece for him to stand on. With this non-flocked version of Moss Man, you can get a better look at his torso mold and better see that he really is just a recolored molding of Beastman. Even if you have the SDC exclusive release of Moss Man, you might want to consider picking up the reissue of the figure. While it's not even a color variant like most other Masters of the Universe figures reissues are, he is good to have for the named display stand, something important if you're a completionist for this collection like I am, or if you want to display Moss Man and not worry about getting the originals flocking, dirty, or rubbed off. These are both reasons that I bought the second release of Moss Man. I display the non-flocked version on the display stand, while the original flocked release is kept in his blister casing with the original BattleBones box. This is also where I keep the pine scent air freshener so I don't lose it. Thank you everyone for taking time to look at the two releases of Mega Construx Masters of the Universe Moss Man with me. We will be looking at the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive set BattleBones very soon, and possibly some of the other new releases of the Masters of the Universe, like Prince Adam. After BattleBones, we're going to have to wait until Mega Construx releases more sets for the Masters of the Universe. So until then, play well everyone, and as always, thank you for watching.